People in Beni in eastern DR Congo take to the streets to protest against the decision by the Electoral Commission to postpone the election until March next year. This is part of a region where health workers are dealing with an Ebola epidemic that has killed many. That's the reason given for delaying the election, as well as security problems. But protesters here will hear none of that. They say they must exercise their rights with the rest of the country. So some burned sections of an Ebola transit center where those suspected of having the disease are held for diagnosis.
We are tired. Voters in Beni and Butembo gave this government the last election. We've been killed by rebels and kept quiet. They brought us Ebola and we did not say anything. Now we can't keep quiet anymore.
Why is the government not concerned about the situation in Beni? We were told that Ebola is here. We accepted this, but today they told us we could not vote because of Ebola, even though they themselves said the sickness was decreasing.
Beni and Butembo in the east and the western town of Yumbi are strongholds of one of the country's main presidential candidates, Martin FAYULU, and have about 1.2 million voters. His coalition, Lamuka, says, in a country where the winner takes it all on the first round, every vote counts, and is calling for a nationwide general strike.
Stay at home Friday and to tell the Senate that everybody has to go to vote, and on Sunday we should have election vote everywhere. We have a single bureau de vote in this country, and as I said, please, without any violence.
As all this was happening, the government gave the European Union's ambassador to DR Congo 48 hours to leave the country, mainly because of sanctions the EU recently renewed on 14 individuals, including Emmanuel Shadari, the ruling party's presidential candidate and President Joseph Kabila's choice for the top job. He was the interior minister between December 2016 and March 2017, when scores of people were killed, mostly by security forces, during street protests.
Ces sanctions, n'en déplaise au Conseil européen.
These sanctions violate international law, undermine the fundamental rights of those concerned, and have been condemned by regional authorities. For the sake of our historical partnership, I've pleaded with the EU to lift the sanctions, at the very least suspend them until after the general election.
Some say the Electoral Commission and the government are working together to rig the election in favor of Shadari. They say they will not accept an outcome where he's declared winner.
It's hard to tell if this call for a general strike will bring any change. The country's main opposition leaders seem divided, with some saying they will go to the election regardless of the announcement by the Electoral Commission. What is clear, though, is that many people we've talked to believe that this election is already tainted. Catherine Soy, Al Jazeera, Kinshasa.